My basic interest in going to Bhutan and Nepal is to take photographs of the nice scenery in Bhutan and besides the scenery in Nepal, all the historic monuments, cities and so on. My wife was not interested in photography, so she followed me on the Bhutan sector, and after we finished on the Bhutan sector, that is on the 19th of April, she left. Then 3 other friends joined me in Kathmandu, that is Tan Sri S.K. Kwa, Dato Dr. Sharifuddin Wahab, and Mr. Danny Wong, who is a professional photographer. 4 of us then continue on with our photographic mission in Nepal. On the 24th of April, the intention was we spend 1 extra night in Kathmandu before returning home, that is on the 25th. Since we still have a good part of the morning before 12:30, by which time we have to go to the airport, we thought that we will then spend some time in Paktapor, the old capital of Nepal, is an ancient little spot, now part of Kathmandu. So we went there and started taking photographs of all the ancient little shops, the stupas and so on. I was focusing myself on one of the old stupas in which Hindu priests were standing and doing prayers, doing the rituals with some of the devotees. So I was focusing my photos on him and also on a number of children who was running around happily. When all of a sudden I felt some rambling on the ground. For a moment I didn't know what. It seems like a herd of buffaloes were charging towards the city square, the little square that we were in, you know. Danny Wong, who is an experienced photographer, immediately shouted, stand still, let's hold together, because he said an earthquake is coming. He knew it because after that he explained to us he has been to Japan and he has some experience of reactions or the oncoming of an earthquake and reaction towards it. He asked us to stand still, and we turned towards each other, 4 of us, held our shoulders together with the hands, and all our heads facing each other. The main thing was, he explained then, was to avoid the stampede of people that will inevitably come, and also to avoid the falling structures that he anticipated will be coming. So within a few seconds, we saw the bricks walls begin collapsing. By that time, a big gust of wind carrying all the sandstones overfilled the square, and we were all blinded for a moment. All that we heard was a lot of crying out, running around. About 20-30 seconds when the rumbling stopped, and very soon the gusts of sand also settled down, and it was a little bit clear. I could still see buildings collapsing, and a group of tourists coming down from the little steps in the coffee shops, in the row of shops they were in. Fortunately, as they were coming down, although there was some swaying of the shops, but it didn't collapse. Then, at that moment, I turned towards my back and saw that the stupa that I was photographing actually has collapsed, crumbled into a pile of stones and bricks. And the elephant sculpture that was standing was tilted and was barely surviving, you know. We were too shocked and didn't have time to fear, you know. I mean, the feeling is that something could collapse, some bricks could hit us and we would be gone. I mean, but we didn't have time to fear, but just hoping for the best. Very confused, somebody wondering whether people were in the pile of stones and people were started digging. But in any case, then he said we better run out of the little square while there's still a little bit of time. And the Nepali assistant that was with me took my heavy camera equipment and pushed me out through a little lane that we came in from and went back to the original entrance. And once we came out to the open, we saw really more chaotic scenes. Huge buildings were crumbling down. People were digging up, using hand digging up stones to save whoever were trapped there. Roads were cracked. Children were running around crying aimlessly. Of course, all of us were in the daze. Anyway, after a lot of explanation, the bus driver agreed to take us to the airport. Understood, took us to the airport. But the roads towards the airport were crumbled, you know. We insisted that he should try to go through the debris and go through the breakages. Reluctantly he did, and fortunately we went through at that point in time and then drove towards the airport. When we arrived at the airport about 1:30, the whole airport was closed anyway. All the passengers with their baggages was piled outside in front of the parking space outside the airport. We discussed among ourselves, thought the best option then was to make our way back to the hotel. The management of the hotel allowed us in because they knew that we had just checked out. And we were allowed to gather with the luggage, waited in the field, in the open space outside the hotel. We are not allowed into the rooms, although we tried to book the room. There were rooms, but we were not allowed in. So they put us up in the lobby, and we had to sleep with the bed sheets and do whatever we can to get through the night. Of course, with the understanding that whenever there's any tremor, we have to get out and run out to the open. But a bad night in terms of sleep. Next morning, we had some bread for breakfast, took some water, and immediately went out to the airport. There was no communication with the outside. We don't know what was happening, whether the plane were available or not. But we thought the best thing is to go to the airport and wait there. As soon as the plane came in, the announcement came out, oh, please check in into Air Asia. Because we were told the plane was only given a 50-minute option, turnaround time. Get in and have to get out. If not, you will lose that little window to get out, other people will be in the queue. So everybody not rush in, fairly orderly, but it was all done. And I think within the 50-minute option, the plane took off. The sight of all the sufferings of the people still left us with a lot of emotional and psychological trauma. Up to today, well, last night also, I have difficulty sleeping. Still trying to reconcile amongst ourselves how to get over the episode. One thing I'd like to explain, that Nepal tourist guide that we got, the assistant that we got, were really good. They were really loyal. Although hardly know him, even during that most dangerous moment, they did not run away. It was by our side. My assistant took away my photo equipment and pushed me out of the narrow lane. I told him to go first. No, he said, he pushed me out. And when we get out, make our way to the airport, I asked him, how's your family situation? He said he had no news yet. But he told me the driver that was driving there had lost a brother in the tall building that had collapsed. Although he knew his brother died, he was still driving us to the airport, didn't run away, you know. My friends and I, we have made a decision that in the next 2 or 3 months, when the situation there calm down, we will go back again to actually express our gratitude to all these people. And then, of course, they'll see whatever we can do to relieve of the situation. When nature strikes, I mean, everybody is equal. So it sort of humbles you. I mean, that human beings are part of nature, and you're glad to be alive. I feel that whatever time I've got now is bonus time, is extra time. So better do it constructively. I will spend more time with my family and do more things that can do some societal goods